Welcome to the stream, Nicholas. And I've decided to do a drawing stream. But you're not going to watch me draw, you're going to watch the Dreamcast, and you're going to listen to the sounds of trick style if you decide to stay here. Complete with screen flickering on the CRT television and all the horse shit. You get the whole thing, the entire experience. Now, I was going to do a couple other things tonight. There's a game that I wanted to get up on the channel, another game. You might have noticed I post a lot of gameplay videos on the Super Divorce channel here. That has helped me stay active and it's helped me find an audience. Hey, Carrot Demos or Dimos is here. Sup? How's it going? So I'm getting ready to do some drawing. And I decided to draw because, like I said, I was going to do a gameplay video, and then I was like, well, you know, there's another comic book that I need to review. And I started preparing to do that instead. And, you know, well, here's what happened. So I flipped open the, part of one of the books that I was going to be highlighting. It's going to be talking a little bit about the Cyber Frog Warts and All Complete 90s collection. And then I saw something written by Ethan Van Sciver in here, and it kind of stopped me in my tracks. It was this right here. Look, he says, "Quit stalling. It was time to become a comic book artist." And I was like, you know what? You're right, Ethan. I need to stop stalling, and I need to sit down and do some drawing. So I pushed the gameplay video off, and I pushed the review I was going to do off, and I was like, you know, I got this particular art piece that I've been meaning to get around to. It's not part of my book that I'm doing, but it is something that I've wanted to complete and get posted up on the internet. So I'm sitting down, I'm going to do that. And yeah, Dreamcast is a absolute classic system. You know, I love it. It's highly underrated. In my opinion, if this thing would have had a DVD player in it, it would have been game over. It would have destroyed the PS2. I think the games blow the PS2 away as far as visuals go. Games that were released on the Dreamcast and PS2, it's not even a fair fight. Dreamcast blows them away. But if you recall, you know, the PS2 had the DVD player. Everyone at that point was switching over from VHS over to you know, DVDs, and it was like also time for a new game system. It was the end of that PS1 N64 era, and if you were looking at the Dreamcast and you're looking at the PS2 and you were also making the switch from VHS tapes to DVDs, then the PS2 was kind of the easy choice to make there. And it ended up being a great system. I'm not trashing the PS2, I'm just saying the Dreamcast visually smokes the PS2. Not even a question. So, yeah, there's some great games. I mean, one of my favorite games ever, Shenmue, and Shenmue 2. Amazing. Revolutionary. Those damn games were. Still got my original copy right there. Oh boy. All right. So I'm going to let the sweet sounds of the Dreamcast reverberate through the night as I sit here and I prepare to get back to work on this drawing that I'm doing. feel like this is nice background ambiance for getting some work done. Carrot agrees with me. Probably on the issue of games and the Dreamcast and. All right, let's see. Kind of situate some things here. Oh, I'm gonna sit that there for a second. I've got a Sonic hard seltzer. It's mango guava. 5% alcohol by volume, 100 calories, 1 gram of sugar. Not too bad. Nostalgic ambiance is the best ambiance. Cheers to that. Okay, now then. Okay, just I've got a particular reference that I need to get ready, bring up, make handy, make available. I'm not yet at the point where I can just draw ideas off the top of my dome. I hope to get there eventually one day, but I will admit I need reference photos for a lot of things. I'm not copying, I'm not tracing, I just need certain positions, certain poses I have in my head. I just have not reached that point where I can just make it happen. But I find someone like Alex Ross almost always uses references and uses photos. A lot of artists do. I think people find it more impressive when someone can just sit down and freehand some shit on paper, which is impressive. But even if you're using a reference, you still have to have artistic ability to put together a nice piece of artwork. If you're tracing, however, then I can't sign off on that. You've got to have your own spin on things. You've got to do a little bit. You can't just copy one for one. It's cheating. Okay, let me see what I need to do here. Oh, yep. What kind of things do I enjoy drawing? Well, right now, what I'm going to be working on is something featuring a couple characters from the old cartoon and comic book action figure line Visionaries. So I've got a particular idea I'm doing with one of the characters from that series. That's what I'm working on right now. I am also working on my own comic that I will be eventually taking to the crowdfunding arena. I'm planning on doing that at the beginning of, well, probably the end of this year. That's what I'm shooting for. The end of 2022 is when I plan to launch the campaign on Indiegogo for my book, which will be called Strawberry Blonde. More info on that as we move forward, but that's kind of what's going on. It'll be Strawberry Blonde is going to be more of like a throwback 80s style manga, heavily inspired by Appleseed and Black Magic. All the works of Shiro is really the stuff that I'm going to be not ripping off, but I'm kind of putting myself through the paces of learning how to draw in that style. That's really the vibe I'm going for. So you got to start somewhere. It's funny, you look at artists, I always think of Barry Windsor Smith one of the most incredible comic book artists of all time. I've actually got his new work right here. I mean, it's fairly new. Monsters. As you can see, this is like really detailed. It's just, you know, it's black and gray shading. He has developed a very impressive signature style over the years. However, if you go back and you look at his very early stuff, when he first started at Marvel, I mean, he was basically instructed to draw exactly like Jack Kirby. And it's pretty incredible. Now that I'm talking about it, I'm gonna whip it out real quick. Oh, where is this book I'm thinking of? Yeah, I mean, compare what I just showed you right there to this stuff. I mean, same artist. And this is his stuff at the beginning of his career. Drawing very, very much like Jack Kirby. And then here's what he's putting out like today. Just completely different stuff. I mean, you'll find little shades of Barry Windsor Smith of today, even in that early shit that I just showed you. But it's it goes to show you, you know, you just have to pick somewhere to start, something to kind of emulate, because artists typically don't just have their own style right off the bat. And I've dabbled in drawing all my life, you know, but trying to get serious about it here. I'm zeroing in on this kind of throwback manga style. And then we'll see what happens from there, see what develops. I've already got an idea for the book that I want to do after the one I was just telling you about, after Strawberry Blonde. I'm thinking ahead like another year and kind of lining these ideas up. We'll get there. Okay. I need to stop yakking. Pulling out my iPad. Oops. Got a few messages here. Carrot said, I wish you the best of luck with the crowdfunding. Hope you reach your goal. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate you. And Carrot also says, it's always a pleasure watching artists evolve and change throughout their career. It's really impressive the things people can do when they find their particular style. Yeah, I mean, it takes a while. That's okay. It's no big deal. Jess is here with her wrench. My wife's coming in with a wrench to bust heads. Speaking of finding your own style, my wife is an artist, tattoo artist, and that's been one of her goals, is to find a style. Hello, yeah. And Jess, you're finding your style. You're doing a good job. Yeah, you're getting there. I mean, I'd say you're pretty well there. Not that you can't continue evolving, but you've gotten there. You've made it. You have a style. You have your own style now. People are willing to wait however long, 2 years to get in for a tattoo with you. That's pretty good. Okay, I got my reference photo. That's good. Never really used the iPad for reference photos before. I should probably do that more often. Hardly ever pick this damn thing up. Oh, you're talking about your clients. Those people are nuts. The ones who will wait 2 years to get in with you. Yeah, if you can turn your passion into your work, then you can work without having to work, so to speak. You don't have the 9 to 5 grind. Not saying there's not a grind involved with working for yourself. There definitely is. I mean, it can be disheartening, it can be frustrating, but when you're in those moments of frustration, it feels like you're actually building towards something that's going to pay off in the end, or at least you hope it does. If you're just going to work at a job you hate and you're slogging your way through every single day with no end in sight, or not even like a goal in mind, I mean, that gets miserable. I think everyone should find something that they can work towards and build to, and even if you never get there, I think it's better to find something and begin moving in that direction, because you never know how much time you have, you never know how long it's going to take. But doing that kind of work and knowing that you're moving towards a goal, I just think is enriching. It helps you live a more meaningful and enjoyable life. So this is a challenging thing I'm working on because, for one, there's an animal involved, and I'm not like super well versed in that kind of thing. I don't draw animals very often. That means I probably should draw them more. I should draw more in general. But I've got to draw a dolphin. You know? These Visionaries characters, they've got here's one of the action figures. See, they got these holograms on their chest. That's called their totem. And in battle, in times of stress, then they can actually transform into their totem. So I'm doing one of the ladies from Visionaries, Galadria, and her totem is a dolphin. So it's challenging. Someone hit the thumbs up. Thank you. Yeah, if you're watching, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. That helps out. It's always nice. I'm gonna get crack-a-lackin'. I'll check back in on the chat periodically here if anyone sticks around. If not, don't feel bad for taking off. This is just some nice, as we said, nostalgic background ambiance for me to enjoy and for you to enjoy if you would like to as well. And yeah, check back in shortly with you. are things going over here? Let's see. So we found out Carrot is an EMT. All right. Imagine that's a stressful job at times, if not all the time. I don't know. I think, do you have to be on call constantly? Is that how that works? I know a lot of people, well, some firefighters anyway, and EMTs who I've talked to, they have that whole on call, you're off, and then you're on call. I don't know how that would work. Seems like that would be stressful. But that's, I'm sure, a fairly high demand, somewhat thankless job. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for being an EMT. We need EMTs. That is one thing we absolutely need. Not only to save those of us who perhaps get into situations that are out of our control, but even to help the people who make bad decisions and wind up in horrible scenarios. We are blessed and privileged to have people out there who will dedicate themselves to going out there and taking care of us who need taken care of, no matter the situation. Justin Proper has dropped by. Hello, Justin. How's it going? It's been a while. I was gonna stop in this week in bullshit. I wanted to hop in the chat last night, and then I had some issues with the game that I was trying to get uploaded, and it ended up being a whole shit show, unfortunately, and then I was not able to stop by. I know that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't give you the views now, but know that I was thinking of you. It's been too long. It's been too long since I've been by the channel, since I've gotten in touch, but it's good to see you. Thank you for stopping by here this evening. If you're still here, I hope you are. Wrath of Wood is here and agrees and says if Dreamcast had DVDs, it would be a lot better indeed. Well, there's no arguing with that. I mean, that is it would be difficult to make an argument against the idea that DVDs, you know, playing DVDs in a Dreamcast would have catapulted it to success. Unfortunately, I always say unfortunately. I mean, I was a PS2 hater for a while because I was a pretty big Dreamcast fanboy when it first came out. Actually, before I was even able to get a Dreamcast, the first time I ever played a Dreamcast was from Blockbuster. I don't know if you guys remember this. I don't know how old everyone in the chat is or everyone watching this, but you could actually rent game systems from Blockbuster back in the day. And I didn't have one yet. Was not able to procure one when they first came out, but my parents rented me a Dreamcast for the weekend one time, and I think I probably rented Sonic Adventure and maybe something else, but it was awesome. And then when I finally got one, yeah, I was a total fanboy. I hated the PlayStation 2. I didn't get a PS2 until just a few years ago because that's how hateful I was. That's how deep my hatred ran and how resentful I was that the PlayStation 2 killed this beautiful system that we see in front of us tonight. But I got over it. You know, I got a PS3 eventually and moved on. Justin Proper says that he has played this very game as a kid. Trick style. Let's take a look at the Trick Style from Acclaim. There it is. Maybe it's bringing back waves of nostalgia for Justin Proper here. Look, this is when games were games, isn't it? You don't get this anymore. You don't get the... I mean, we didn't know what we had. We didn't know how good we had it. We didn't know that all of this was going to go away. All of this. I mean, they're trying to make everything digital now. And the games you do get physical copies of, you get like this right here and that's it. Maybe a single sleeve, like a single sheet of paper insert that'll have like this on the front, and then you'll get this kind of shit inside. And it's like, for the rest of the manual, visit our website. Yeah, go fuck yourself. The only place you can get games that actually have like full color instructional booklets is really when you go to more boutique, smaller run, whatever you want to call them, publishing houses, websites like Limited Run Games. They always do really cool shit. But I mean, it's so cool to have this. We took it for granted. I didn't realize that one day this would be a rarity. You assume as long as video games are around, you're gonna have, you know, the booklet inside. Nope. Gone the way of the dodo. Speaking of dodo, I played a game called Donut Dodo earlier tonight. It's like a arcade throwback, kind of like Donkey Kong, something like that. It's pretty fun. Had a nice soundtrack. Continuing to get caught up here. Justin Proper said he's been meaning to reach out. Yeah, if you live in Cincy, we should hang out. I mean, I'm very close to Cincy. I'm like a stone's throw away. So that would be fun. Maybe sometime we could do a live stream, like in studio. That'd be pretty neat, wouldn't it? That's like a rarity in the world of YouTube. People actually getting together in real life. Carrot had addressed my comments on EMTs as far as the hours they work. Says it depends on what ambulance company you ride with for your hours. Some do a 24-hour on-call stuff and others do set shifts. Carrot does 12-hour shifts, so not fully on call. Well, that's good. I always thought that would be the worst thing, because to me, working retail or whatever, working in fast food or restaurants, any job I've had, one of the biggest bummers in life would be like when you're just enjoying your day off and then you get the call, hey, so-and-so called off, we really need you to come in, can you help us out? And I never said no, because I always felt bad. It always makes me, you know, in those moments you wish you wouldn't have answered your phone. But, hey, can you come in? We really need help. Okay. But if that was like baked into the job, where maybe you have the day off, maybe you don't. Wait and see if we call you. How could you live in that state of mind? You couldn't go and do anything that, you know, where you couldn't get back home quickly to change, to get into your work clothes, to drive. You couldn't, you know, you couldn't pack up and go to the ball game for the day. You couldn't plan to go to a concert. You couldn't do shit like that. It'd be awful. But some people do it, and God bless them. Justin was making a joke. Should have said, oh, I love Tony Hawk. I must have missed something. Oh, I said I love Mario Kart. I missed that part. Sorry. Well, Mario Kart is fun. But this is not Mario Kart, obviously. We're not looking at Mario Kart. That'd be a cool hack. Mario Kart on the Dreamcast. I'd have millions of views for that video. SSX Tricky. That was a similar game, yes. I remember that one too. I don't think I ever played it, but I certainly remember SSX Tricky. I remember there were commercials running for that game constantly when it first came out. Don't really see too many video game commercials now either. And I think the original Tony Hawk would have come out before this. Let me see, what year did this come out? Looking on the back, trying to find a date here. Well, maybe inside the manual. Maybe that will provide the answers to the questions we have here concerning the release date. Or someone can Google it too. That's also another option, but this is more fun. Usually there's a date. Well, they've got the date on the Quarterback Club 2000 advertisement here. So 99. So the game probably came out in 99. And I think the very first Tony Hawk came out earlier than that, because that was a PS1 game. So my guess on Tony Hawk would be 96 or 97, maybe? That's just a guess. And yeah, I've done pretty well with the no commentary gameplay videos. That has certainly built the channel up, that's for sure. It's like you gotta find something. You gotta find some way to grow your channel. And if I want to use my channel to market my horse shit, build an audience and all that stuff, that's what you gotta do. Because I don't want to be one of these guys who goes out there with a comic book and they're like, hey, none of the big comic book creators are featuring me on their channel. No, I'm butthurt and I'm gonna turn my back on all of them, talk shit. I don't want to do that. Not gonna do that. So many of the bigger guys have given people this advice, and it's like, go build your own audience first. It's gonna take work. It might be frustrating, and it has at times been very frustrating. However, if you can do it, if you're willing to put in the work and grind, then it pays off, because having your own built-in audience is, I think it's just, if you're going to play the whole YouTube content creator game, and you're going to try to hawk your wares via YouTube and Twitter and all that shit, you got to build up your own fan base. You got to build up your own audience. You can't just rely on other people's... you can't rely on their audience to do all your work for you. You can't rely on them to feature you constantly if you're not coming out with stuff on your own. Because those bigger channels are almost certainly busting their asses in their own right, building their platforms, working on their stuff, giving people a reason to visit their channel exclusively. If you just think that, oh, I'm doing great artwork, so they should put me on. I'm working so hard, they should feature me on their channel because they should appreciate all the hard work I'm doing. Well, they're doing hard work too. And if you're talking about artists, not only are they working on their art, but they're also working on their channels. Obviously, if they weren't, then you wouldn't want to take advantage of it. You wouldn't want to be featured now. I'm not saying I would turn down an opportunity to go on larger channels. I'm not stupid. But I also don't want to have to rely on that as my only means of success, which I've seen quite a few people do in this whole Comicsgate scene, and it always turns me off. Anytime I see a creator start bitching about other people not featuring them not taking care of them, not lifting them up. Anytime I see that, it automatically turns me off from whatever the person is working on, whatever their product is. It makes me immediately tune out. I don't want to hear it because I have a completely different philosophy on this stuff, and I can't respect it. Justin Proper loves his little corner of YouTube, keeping it low key, fun, intimate, and you can do what you want. Well, yeah. I mean, that's the dream. Being able to create your own content, create the things you want to do. I'm glad that I've kind of stumbled upon this little, whatever you want to call it, indie game scene, posting these videos. That's been fun to do. It's a hell of a lot more fun, in my opinion, than I think that the easy thing for a lot of people seems to be like, you know, the whole rage tuber shit and just following whatever it is that day to be pissed off about. Now, there are some people with channels like that that I actually enjoy watching. I'm not talking shit about that style of content. I'm saying that I just am not in possession of the constitution to do that type of work and to make those types of videos every day. It's just not fun for me. Some people enjoy it, and those are the people that I would actually enjoy watching. Other people, you can tell when it's forced. They're making those kind of like rage reaction videos, and it just seems like they're being completely disingenuous. You don't believe anything they're saying. It's like, you're not really mad. I don't give a fuck about what you're saying here because it's all bullshit. You see right through it. And I didn't want to have to do that. So I'm glad I found something that I can do that could grow the channel while I'm working on my artwork and all this stuff in the background, and figuring out how I can get back into the whole live streaming game and kind of bring all these things together. But finding one thing to be good at that was growing the channel consistently and that people seem to enjoy, that's been a nice reward in and of itself. Justin says on Tony Hawk Underground 2, you could play as Shrek. I never played that one. I played the original, of course, and then I wasn't the fan who went out and bought every Tony Hawk game. I had the original. I think maybe I had Tony Hawk 2, and then was it 4 that was out on the Xbox, not the 360, the original Xbox. Played the shit out of that one. That one was really cool because on the Xbox you could import your own music. So I had like a ton of my own tunes on there. Tony Hawk always has a good soundtrack anyway, but being able to put your own music in and skate around to it was really neat. And I think that's the last one that I bought. So that was a while ago. Yeah, Carrot, the only video game commercials you see are pretty much on YouTube. And people go out of their way to watch them, right? You know, new trailer drops. Everyone flocks to YouTube to watch it repeatedly. People make videos about basically a commercial. It is nuts. And yeah, Justin, that was a fun night there in Chicago, getting hammered up in that bar. Jess, what was that place called? If you're still hanging out here, that was a neat little spot. We stayed in a nice hotel while we were there too. I enjoyed that. Justin's got to get going. He's got to roll. Packing for vacation. Off the grid for a week. Have a great stream. Thank you. Enjoy your vacay wherever you're headed. Safe travels and enjoy yourself. We'll get in touch when you get back. Carrot thinks it's a positive that you get to see other people's thoughts on upcoming games. Yeah, I think so. I suppose if you have a reason to respect the person's opinion, that's how I feel about it. I don't really get into watching random reaction videos. Some people do. And it's why I don't necessarily... I don't know. I think that's why I like playing the games on this channel the games I post, all these walkthroughs. I like playing them and presenting the game in itself without my face in the corner, screaming, and doing that kind of thing. As many YouTubers do, I would say probably forcing reactions. You're not getting the genuine reaction. If I made a video of myself playing games and was being authentic about it, it would be the most boring shit ever. It would ruin the gameplay video because I don't typically react. I don't react. I'm pretty even keeled when I'm playing games. Now, Nun Massacre that I just played, that one got me several times. Actually quite a few. Got some good jump scares on that one. But even when I get scared, when I am on the receiving end of a jump scare that gets me, I don't like throw my keyboard across the room and scream. I like, you know, I don't know, jerk back in my chair a little bit. Might say, oh shit, you know. But if that's all you're going to get out of me, there's no point in having my face on the screen. I could do really over-exaggerated reactions. I could have fun with that, where it's just obvious that I'm kind of playing a character. But a lot of these guys, they're not doing that. And again, there are some who are genuinely entertaining. I like PewDiePie. I like Markiplier, Corey Kenshin, but a lot of like the sort of guys who are running smaller channels, who are trying to kind of ride the coattails of those people, is just, you know, I'd just rather watch the game itself. Now, as far as hearing about what someone thinks, if it's not just like these bombastic explosions of, you know, of emotion and surprise and shock, if it's a more thought out and well-reasoned explanation of how the person feels about what they just saw, then yeah, I can get with that, especially, like I said, if it's someone who's given you a reason to listen to them. Now, not to toot my own horn, but I feel like if you looked at my channel and you saw how many games I've featured here and how many games I've played and how regularly I'm playing new games, I mean pretty much one a day, then I feel like I've kind of I don't want to say I've become an expert. I'm not an expert, but I've got some experience. I've played enough to kind of know what I'm talking about, where I might have some interesting things to say if I were to get into that type of thing. But if I saw that on someone else's channel, I would feel the same way about them. It's like, all right, here's this guy's reaction to such and such trailer. Why should I care about what this guy has to say? Let me look at his other videos. Oh, okay. He plays a lot of games, or he streams a lot of games, or he does these reviews constantly, so he's familiar with the territory and the terrain. He doesn't just upload one new reaction video every 2 weeks and then expect people to flock to him to hear what he has to say. Anyway. Oh, Justin is headed to Seattle, an Alaskan cruise, and a few days in LA. Been a long time since he's had a real vacation, so he's ready to get away from work and have zero responsibilities. Well, you enjoy yourself. You might be on already, but enjoy all that. Carrot says most of the game reviewers nowadays are paid off by the companies. Shameful how soulless they treat their products. No love anymore. That's why indie games are refreshing. That's how I feel. That's why I'm really happy that I kind of stumbled just by chance onto the itch.io website, you know, and it's like a whole world of games that I never even knew existed, and these people making really fun, as far as what I've been playing, indie horror games that you can really sit down and get all the way through in one go. Which is great for what I'm doing, because that means I can post like a new full gameplay video every single day. And there are some creators who I've really become a big fan of. People doing great work. Stuff that you can tell they, you know, they're not making 60-hour epics. But since playing so many games, like what I've been playing recently, where you can complete it in 20 minutes to an hour, I really don't crave the 60, 70, 100 plus hour games anymore. I might play a few here and there. I still want to play Elden Ring. Just looks too good to pass up. I would like to get around to that at some point, but I don't feel like I'm missing out if I sit down and I complete a game in one go. It's actually, it's preferable. And then, yeah, people doing like paid reviews, basically ads for games, where they present themselves as just being an impartial critic. While behind the scenes they're getting paid to speak glowingly about whatever the game is. I mean, you're misleading people. It's not honest, it's not fair. I don't think that should be a practice people engage in. I wouldn't do that. If someone wanted to give me a free copy of their game to play, I'd be like, yeah, sure, I'm not gonna you know, pat your butt for you. I'm not gonna powder your ass because you gave me a free copy. If it sucks, I'm gonna tell everyone it sucks. I'll say I'm glad I didn't pay for this piece of shit. Thanks for the free game. You saved me $10. The game's ass. Don't buy it. That's what I would say. Okay, I'm gonna try and draw a little more. Here, let me try and switch. Oh boy, let's see. What else do I want to do? Got this little stack over here. Let me find something else to throw on. What would be good? Okay, I think I got something. Let me see. See if we can do this. Let's see if this works for us. Carrot says, honesty, unfortunately, isn't rewarded nearly as much as it should be in the YouTube scene. People get blinded by the hype and don't accept that a big game might be flawed. That's why I don't really listen to reviewers. I mean, like mainstream reviewers, mainstream gaming publications. The ones I grew up reading, the ones I used to love. Game Informer. You know, all the gaming magazines are pretty much dead now except Game Informer. But I did insert a game disc. Let's try this. Turn it off. Back on. But you know, they all got these backdoor deals going on. It's too bad. And they're not just reviewing games they want people to know about. If they were, they'd be talking about a lot of the games that I'm playing, because there's some absolute gems. But you never flip open a Game Informer and find them talking about puppet combo games. You won't see them probably discussing Nun Massacre Definitive Edition. How about this? Battlefield 2042. Yeah. Didn't do so well, did it? Last Battlefield game I played was Battlefield 4. I think a lot of people say that that was really the last great Battlefield game they put out. But my favorite online multiplayer, you know, is still Counter-Strike. I like the tunes, but it's strobing too much. I can't draw with that going on right next to me. Sorry. I have to switch it up. I need something that doesn't have to be quiet. It can be like trick style, but I just can't have strobing in my eye. It's not gonna work for me, brother. This might be a little better. Let's try this one. Oh yeah, the Dreamcast startup screen. All right, I think this will work. Got some action, but it's not over the top. It's not distracting. We've got Virtua Fighter 3TB. Booklet. Look at that. Nice. Carrot says, apparently Ninja I think you meant Gaiden. Was originally supposed to be on the Dreamcast. Like the one that ended up being on Xbox. I would play Ninja Gaiden. I'd try a Ninja Gaiden game. Protect your crops as they grow. Protect your garden from infiltrators. Yeah, I think the Dreamcast could have handled it. Shenmue was actually going to be a Saturn game. You can see footage of that if you go and look on YouTube. You can look up Sega Saturn Shenmue, and you can see what it would have looked like. They actually began making it for the Saturn, and decided to hold off because they were going to be able to do a lot more with it on the Dreamcast. But it's still interesting to see those videos. Yeah, I mean, if you got some free time, learn how to develop. You can find some tutorials online and get to work on Ninja Gaiden. I'll feature it here on the channel immediately. check it back in. Carrot says they don't make games like they used to. People buy games for stories instead of buying them for fun. Can't very well decide if that's for better or for worse. Well, I mean, games were created for people to play for fun, I think. You go back to like arcade games, that's what people were doing. They were playing them so they could have fun. They're doing something for fun. Even something like this. Your Virtua Fighters, your Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, arcade games. You play against your friends, you play against the computer even. You're just doing it to test your skill. You're trying to have fun with something. And I guess that has changed. People do seem to want like a very deep, well thought out story experience as well. And I mean, I suppose that can be good. To me, you need to have good gameplay though. It needs to be fun. If you're just gonna have a really great story, but the gameplay is shit, then you might as well do the story in a different medium. Make a movie, or a TV show, or comic book, or write a novel of the story. A story alone won't save a game though, because at the end of the day, you're still playing it. If it has shitty controls, if it's a slog to get through, but the story's really, really good, I don't think the story saves it. Because like I said, if you're not going to go through the trouble of making the gameplay be as good as the story is, then you might as well just do the story in a different place where you don't have to worry about the gameplay. The gameplay shouldn't be an afterthought. What happened? What happened to the game? Just turned off. I want to wrap up with some Shenmue. Oh, come on. Being finicky. It certainly does have a mind of its own. It's made up its mind to make a fool of me. It's supposed to be showing Dreamcast. Doesn't even want to work. Goes back to the damn startup screen. No explanation. Can't have that. It's unacceptable. If you don't pipe down over here, I'll go get the other one. I have another Dreamcast in my basement. I have this one right here because this is the one that I purchased recently. This one can play Japanese games as well. The one I have downstairs is my original Dreamcast from way back in the day. Still works great. This guy right here, the new blood, he wants to give me fits. And I don't like it. Come on. Come on now. Alright, let me try. Again. Shenmue had a nice booklet with it. A nice floppy. All the effort. I mean, people worked hard on this. Laid it out just nice. Yeah, artwork in the background. Behind all the instructions. Just a pleasurable experience, just to flip through. You don't get this anymore. They say, visit our website for the manual. Instructions at shenmue.com. Bunch of garbage. Why doesn't this one work? I don't think it's my disc. Yeah, the disc, I mean, it doesn't look bad. There are a couple little blemishes here, but I mean, that's to be expected with a game that's over 20 years old. This is my copy from when I purchased it, or when it was probably purchased for me. I don't know. I might have bought this for myself. Working at McDonald's when I was 15, maybe. Had it for a long time. Let's give it one more try. after just a brief wipe down, just to see. Nothing else, we get the nice Dreamcast noise. Carrot had the same problem when we got a new N64. Yeah, these old systems, they can be real finicky, real fickle. Yeah, it's not happening. For some reason, it does not like my Shenmue disc. Never had any problems playing this on my other Dreamcast. But for some reason, I don't remember what happens if you just put in disc 2. Let me see. Wonder if this one will work. That works. Okay. Well, there we go. Fantastic. It's fine with my disc 2. Okay, I think I reached a good stopping point for the evening. Okay. I want to try something out real quick before I go. Shenmue came with the passport disc that allowed you to like access whatever online material they had for this back then. I don't even remember. Let me see. They've got a spot in the manual. For the passport. I don't see. I don't know. I just want to see what happens. Because I don't remember. Been a long time. Probably going to make me put the date in again. Won't even play the damn disc.
This disc is only intended for use in a Dreamcast game console. There is game data on track 1, so please don't attempt to play back this disc.
Interesting. What a nice little screensaver they've got up here. Background graphic, whatever you want to call it. I like that. That's lovely. Very nostalgic. Okay. Well, I suppose that's going to do it. I think that'll wrap things up. So, until next time, thanks for watching. If you haven't done so and you've perhaps been in here hanging out, like this video, comment below if you got anything, if you're watching this later. Sub to the channel. That would be good. I'll probably be doing this a bit more often when I draw. I might as well. It's an easy thing to do. It's an easy way to interact with people. I like to do that. I used to live stream on this channel, quite a bit. Really, when I first started getting into the YouTube stuff, before I was playing games, I was just live streaming random shit. And it was always fun interacting with people, and then I stopped doing it and tried to make other types of content. It's been a real crapshoot over the years, trying to figure out what works on YouTube and what I should be doing and where I should focus my energy. So anyway, I'd like to get back into the habit of live streaming because it's fun. It's a fun thing to do. So if you would like to hang out in the future, go ahead and sub to the channel and bong the gong for notifications. Hit that little bell so you know when I go live and you know when new videos go up, and we will get back to it just shortly. And until next time, everyone, take real good care. Keep kicking ass. Love you lots. Lord willing, I'll be back very soon with another video for you to watch. Carrot, thanks for hanging out this evening. Everyone else, thank you. And a good night. Bye-bye.